jak przyjemnie kołysać się wśród fal, gdy szumi, szumi woda i płynie sobie w dal. Ach, jak przyjemnie, radosny słychać śpiew, gdy szumi, szumi woda, a w żyłach szumi krew. I tak uroczo, tak ochoczo serca biją tak, gdy jest pogoda, szumi woda, czego jeszcze brak do szczęścia. Ach, jak przyjemnie kołysać się wśród fal, gdy szumi, szumi woda i płynie sobie w dal.
Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, wo sind sie geblieben, wo die Blumen, sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind, Mädchen pflückten sie geschehen, wann wird mein Fähnchen sein?
Baby, 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 baby.
Gdzie są kwiaty starych lat? Wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind. Was ist geschehen, Mädchen? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind. Na, 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 wenn sie
Regardez-moi bien. Je suis né. Mon visage n'a pas d'expression. Je suis petit. Je suis comme vous tous.
Wouldn't you be a little quicker about it?
All right. All right. Yes. All right. I'm ready. No, I can't. Damn it!
You're wearing us both out quite unnecessarily. We've already decided everything. I thought that after so much anguish, we'd finally understood each other, and now you're hesitating again? Be a man. Hurry up and aim.
Oh, there's one thing I hadn't thought of. Oh, but what does it matter? No, I can't. I can't pull the trigger. The difficulty is that I won't have anyone to talk to anymore. Who will I talk to if you're gone, Lizzie?
You'll spend more time in your own company then. That will be good for you. Be brave. Only for a moment. Afterwards, you'll be able to figure it out.
But I don't want to be by myself.
You liked solitude in the old days. Now, do you remember how you used to run away from me? What's happened to you now?
I've grown accustomed to you. It's awful. I feel that there's this special kind of elastic band between us. Now, I haven't been alone for 2 years. Even when you were far away, the elastic stretched but never broke.
Well, try something different for once. I have nothing new to offer you. Your chances will be better without me. I'm not talking about women, but about things in general.
Oh, you're trying to work on my baser instincts, just like a woman. You must have a suicide mania. Yes, you're afraid yourself, so you use me like a piece of machinery, as if I were an extension of this shotgun. It's humiliating.
What a ridiculous idea! Death means nothing to me. That's the absolute truth. But I really don't want to die. Yet life means nothing to me either. And what tires me most is standing here under this lamppost.
I can't stand this. You know what? Let's just stop all of this and get away from here. This is a hateful place. Nothing can ever happen here.
No, Edgar, you have to make up your mind. It has to be decided today. We've already made up our minds, and that's all there is to it. I can't live the way I used to anymore. Something snapped inside me, and it will never come back again.
Oh, I hate to think what will happen to me during the night. Boredom and indecision, a vicious circle, endless and self-contained, and closed in upon itself forever. And there will be no one to tell it to. After all, that's my only joy in life.
Even at a time like this, you're being small. But honestly, you used to mean much more to me than I ever thought you could. You were my child. And My father, something indefinable, something without form and without contour, feeling my world with its indeterminateness. You're not the child, but you're so little, so hopelessly little.
Oh, yes, I know! I'm not an undersecretary of state or a factory manager, a revolutionary or a general. I am a man without a profession and without a future. I'm not even an artist. At least artists know how to die in style.
Life, for life's sake. Do you remember the theory of your friend, the Duke of Nevermore? The so-called creative life.
Yes, the insignificance of that concept is the source of all my misfortunes. I waged a futile battle against myself for 10 years, and after all that, you still wonder why I can't make up my mind about such a trivial thing as killing you?
But that's exactly what I want for you to do. Something great. It's not a small thing to kill me. You'll find out later.
Oh, later. But what if I find out that it's just another mistake? That the whole greatness of it all was about me coming home with you in peace and having dinner. Oh, this relativity of everything.
How stupid he is. Greatness is always irrevocable.
There are limits to my endurance. But let's not have any contrived scenes. Even in the most idiotic plays, it's definitely against the rules.
All right, but even you'll agree it's a vicious circle. Everything irrevocable is great, and that explains the greatness of death, first love, the loss of virginity, and so forth. Whatever one can do several times is by its very nature trivial. I mean, you want to be great, and yet you don't want to do anything that can't be undone.
Oh, what about courage, self-sacrifice, suffering for someone else's sake, acts of renunciation? Aren't these forms of greatness too? But they're really not. As soon as you deny yourself something, you become so smug about your own greatness that it makes you petty. Every work of art is unique and hence great. So let's just sacrifice ourselves for each other right now, or else join the circus.
Anything that lives is unique too, and hence great. You are great, Edgar, and so am I. If you don't shoot me this very minute, I'll despise you as an utter wet noodle.
Oh, all of this bores me! I'll shoot you like a dog. I hate you. You're my guilty conscience. It is I who despise you!
Let's not quarrel. I don't want to say goodbye to you in the middle of a scene. Come, kiss me on the forehead for the last time, and then shoot. Come on.
Oh.
And now, go back to your place, my dear, and don't hesitate anymore.
All right. It's settled. I accept the inevitable.
Oh, how splendid!
I'm still.
One miss, the other straight through the heart.
Oh, there's one thing I've forgotten about. What am I going to tell my father? Oh, perhaps I'll...
Go to your papa, Tajo.
Oh, more surprises!
Papa, please don't be angry.
Oh, I'm not angry, my child. I only want a bit of rest after all of this. Where did you come from?
I don't know. I woke up when I heard the shots, and you are my papa.
Oh, well, who knows? Maybe I'm a father, too. You see, it's all the same to me. After all, I might even be your father, although I can't stand children.
But you won't beat me, Papa.
I don't know! You see, something strange has happened here. This woman, in one way or other... Why am I telling you this?
Please tell me, what were you shooting at?
Oh, you put that down right now! You see, I was shooting because...
Don't say anything. In just a moment.
Ah, yes. It's not as simple as you think. Assume I'm your father, if you will, but whoever your father may be, who is he really? What kind of a man will he turn out to be? These are still unanswered questions.
But you're a grown-up, Papa. You know everything.
Oh, not as much as you think. Something fatal's happened here. I have so much to tell you that a whole lifetime wouldn't be enough, and then suddenly this brat appears, and our last moments together are hopelessly spoiled.
I am dying. Remember what I told you. You must be great in one way or another.
Yes, great, great, but how? Fishing or blowing soap bubbles?
Don't come near me. This is the end.
Papa, what's the matter with that lady?
Quiet. Wait.
Papa, I'm afraid. It's scary here.
Go to him. I don't want. Oh!
Well, I'm alone now. I can take care of you.
Papa, I'm afraid. What happened to the lady?
I'll tell you the truth. She's dead.
Dead. I don't know what dead means.
You don't know? Well, it's exactly as though she's fallen asleep, but she'll never wake up.
Never. Well, I said I'd never steal apples, but that was different. Never. I understand now. It's the same forever and ever.
Oh, yes, that's the infinite, the eternal.
I know God is infinite. I could never understand that. Papa, I know so much right now. I understand everything. Only it's too bad about the lady. I'd like to tell her so.
There's a great deal I'd like to tell her too. Much more than you.
Please, Papa, tell me the whole truth. Why won't you tell me? It's very important.
You're right. I'll tell you the truth. After all, there's no one else I can tell it to. I killed her.
You killed her. So you were the one who shot her. How funny! You were out hunting.
Don't laugh like that. It's dreadful.
It's not dreadful at all. If it really happened the way you said it did. I was shooting too, but at crows with a bird gun. You look so big, Papa. But it all seems as some insects had eaten one another. People are like insects. An infinity surrounds them and summons them in a mysterious voice.
Where on earth did you get that from? Did you read that somewhere?
Well, perhaps I dreamt it. I have such strange dreams. Please, go on talking, Papa. I'll explain everything to you.
Well, you see, it was like this. I should have been somebody, although I never really knew what, or rather who. I don't even know whether I actually exist, although the fact that I suffer terribly is certainly real. This woman wanted to help me. She was the one who asked me to kill her. Eventually, all of us will die. Desperately unhappy people find consolation in that thought. Why, if a man doesn't live like everybody else, if he doesn't go through life like a horse with blinders over his eyes, walking around on a treadmill, now let me tell you something, Tajio, he's completely in the dark. The goal is the goal itself, as my friend Edgar, the Duke of Nevermore, used to say. Although I could never fathom that deep truth.
Oh, yes, I understand. I am not satisfied with just anything either. But right now, I don't want anything at all. Nothing at all. You understand?
Yes, I understand. You're starting quite early, my young man. I wonder what you'll be like when you're my age.
Oh, I'll be a robber.
Oh, shut up! Don't talk that way! Although, sometimes, I'd like to do something terrible too.
That's funny. There's really nothing terrible at all. There are only certain times when it's best not to be afraid. And frightful things, really frightful things, I paint with watercolor only. I have pastel colors like that, so I'm only really, really afraid when I'm asleep.
Nothing happens. I thought something would happen, but there's no change. The same silence everywhere. And the earth silently revolves around on its axis. The world is a desert without meaning. Look, Tajo, I have the impression we're in prison. Brown walls.
I know this house. The soldiers are stationed over there, and the seashore is over there.
Oh. Yes. I thought it was a prison. I feel like a dog on a chain that's been set free but doesn't know how to run. And so I'll spend the rest of my life walking around the kennel, and I won't have the courage to run away because who knows? Perhaps it isn't true. Perhaps I'm still on the chain. But tell me, once and for all, what were you doing here in the first place?
I don't know. And I don't even want to remember. I was very ill in a kind of institution for boys, and I didn't have a mother. And then I woke up when I heard the shots. And you are my papa.
Well, apparently so. Tomorrow, I'll begin your upbringing.
You'll never be able to bring me up, Papa. You couldn't.
Why?
Because you've had no upbringing yourself. I know that much about you, at least.
You talk very well, sonny boy. Where did you unearth such a precocious little imp?
I don't know. Well, he crept out from behind that mound.
What's this? After all, it hardly matters. I don't meddle in your personal affairs. The water hen is dead. Since there'll be no supper at home, I trust you'll approve of our having something to eat here. I'll give orders to have the body carried out. Can't stand corpses flopping about where they have no business to be.
This is funny. I can see myself painting it in pastels, and even then...
Carry the lady out. There ought to be a cold cellar somewhere in the barracks. Tell the orderly that I'll send for the corpse tomorrow. Don't ask any questions, and don't go blabbing about it. And bring a table here and serve supper.
Yes, I understand. At your service.
Well, young man, how do you like all this, eh?
It's really hilarious. Although I think that there's something missing, but I don't know what.
Father, won't you leave him in peace? I've adopted him, and I'll take care of the formalities tomorrow. I'm beginning another life. Not a new one, but another one. Do you understand, Father?
You can even start at the end and go backwards. You can't escape. Gauguin didn't begin to paint until he was 27. Bernard Shaw didn't begin to write plays until he was after 30. But what's the point of giving examples? I tell you, you will be an artist. Just as sure as I'm Albert Valcourt, former skipper of the Orenco, a vessel of 10,000 tons. Our story today is just the beginning, but a promising one. Own up to it, Ed. You killed a water hen.
Yes, I did. But she asked me to.
Naturally. She preferred death to living with you, yet she couldn't live without you. Poor silly hen. I feel sorry about it. But what will you do now? Who will listen to your long, pedantic lectures justifying your downfall? Perhaps this young ward of yours.
Oh, how wise you are, Captain. Papa has gone over everything with me.
Didn't I tell you so? You've had a rendezvous destiny, my adopted grandson. Edgar Valcourt, The great artist of the future has taken you into his confidence. Never forget that.
Must you joke, Father? This is hardly an appropriate time.
Hmm.
Why so many place settings?
I'm expecting guests. I want to provide you with enemies disguised as friends and vice versa. Friends disguised as the bitterest enemies. You don't know how to live simply and normally, so you'll have to live your life in reverse and walk backward and wayward paths. My patience is at an end. I've had enough.
And so, Father, you...
Yes, I knew what would happen. I foresaw a great deal. Not everything, of course. I didn't know you'd shoot her. Now, I don't want to spoil you. Still, I must admit that I'm somewhat impressed. Somewhat. Despite the fact that you behave like a thoroughly cheap stinker.
Oh, you're not a man! You're a devil! So you knew all along, Father.
There's nothing remarkable about that. Don't you remember when the three of us lived in the little house on the other side of the bay at Stockfish Beach? Remember her mania for feeding lemons to my ginger cat? I was able to observe the both of you very closely back then. You both thought I was only searching for buried treasure. Remember when she gave you that purple flower and said, "A great man does not ask how to become great. He is great." I even wrote it down.
Oh, don't say anything more, Father. Poor Elizabeth. Poor Water Hen.
Don't cry, Papa. These are only little pictures God paints with his magic pastels.
Oh, you put that thing away! I can't bear to look at it!
Easy. Easy, Ham. Bleeding heart, sentimental ass. Remember, you're leading another life. Another life, as you've so aptly put it. Go live on Mars or on the star Antares if you cannot get along here. My guests are about to arrive. Do you understand? Don't you dare give me that hangdog look. Don't you forget it. They're coming. Chin up, not a whimper.
Captain, you're wonderful, like an evil sorcerer.
Call me grandfather. At least there is someone who appreciates my style.
I appreciate your style too. I just don't want you to jump to conclusions about me.
And don't let me jump over you as if I were a horse and you were a hurdle. Silence. The guests are coming.
Well, how do you do, Captain?
My dear lady, so delighted to see you. The situation here is rather snarl, but we can unsnarl it. It was hardly necessary for the Duchess to bring these gentlemen here. However, we'll have to do the best we can.
But these gentlemen are quite charming. Let me introduce them to you.
We already know one another. And now, if your grace will allow me, I would like to present to you my son, who was a great friend of your late husband. Ed, greet her grace. My son, Duchess Alice of Nevermore.
Good heavens, is Edgar dead?
We'll talk about that later. Behave yourself.
Please tell me what happened to Edgar.
A tiger devoured him in the Janjapara jungle. He was always putting his courage to the test until finally the Supreme Being lost his patience. He died 2 days after the accident, and I can assure you he died beautifully. His belly was torn to pieces, and he suffered terribly. But up to the last moment, he was reading Russell's and Whitehead's Principia Mathematica. You know, all those symbols.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know. What strength! Poor Edgar. Why didn't you tell me about this before, Father? I'm buffeted by so many blows all at once. My God. Did Elizabeth know as well?
Has anything else happened? Tell me, I've heard so much about you from Edgar. He considered you the most interesting character on the face of our small globe.
Well, yes, something strange has happened. I'm on the threshold of another life beyond the grave.
That's enough. As a matter of fact, today he shot a water hen like a dog, at her own request. Wouldn't you agree, Duchess? That's a lousy thing to do.
Oh, that Elizabeth Vergeling. I've heard so much about you two from Edgar. My poor husband often received letters from her. She wrote such strange things. Afterwards, he was never quite himself.
I still like to know whether you think or not it's a lousy thing to do.
Oh, but Mr. Albert, women love to sacrifice themselves. What good luck to have the chance to die for someone else. Isn't that so, Mr. Edgar? It's strange to say that name again.
Well, yes. Well, I suppose so. Well, I don't know. I killed her half an hour ago.
What a pity! I so much wanted to meet her.
Edgar was in love with her and worshipped her from a distance. He wrote me that she was the only woman he could...
Edgar loved only me, my dear sir.
But my dear lady, I'll show you Edgar's letters.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything at all. He was lying. Now let's go for a stroll and I'll explain everything to you. Who's that charming little boy?
Oh, that's my adopted son. I adopted him exactly 20 minutes ago.
Half an hour ago, you kill her. 20 minutes ago, you adopt some boy or other. It seems to me you've been through quite enough for one day. Edgar told me you are strong as Hercules. What's your name, little boy?
My name is Thaddeus Gucci Vergeling. You are a beautiful woman, just like the fortune teller in the picture I drew.
What? That too? Well, I'll go out of my mind.
That's a good one.
Oh, you knew about that too, Father. You knew Elizabeth had a son and you didn't tell me a thing about it.
As sure as I'm the skipper of the Orento, I knew nothing about it. It's a surprise to me. Come here, Tazio. Let me give you a hug.
Now, what was it you wanted to tell me?
I want to prove to you that it's all a mistake.
Mr. Spectre, this is an extraordinary affair. I think we better go have supper at the Astoria, or else we'll have to face the consequences.
Take my word for it, Mr. Evader. Nothing bad is going to happen.
Gentlemen, please stay to supper. They will set a table for you right away. Tonight we'll drink till we all fall overboard. Isn't that right, Mr. Korbowski? You're in the Navy.
All right, Mr. Valpore, but I dislike that flirtation between Alice and your only son. She's no morsel for degenerates, my Alice isn't. Alice is mine.
Mr. Spectre, let's go.
Yes, I quite agree. I smell trouble.
Wait. We are invited to supper. It is an amusing situation.
Who's that swine? Oh, excuse me, Duchess, he came with you, but after all...
Oh, he's my only consolation in life. Mr. Korbowski, Mr. Edgar Valport. He's utterly primitive. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have survived Edgar's death. We met in India, and now we go everywhere together and see the most revolting things in the world. You have no idea how beautifully he conducts himself in every situation.
Alice, darling, please don't joke. You're twisting the lion's tail. I want to be treated with respect, whether we're in company or alone.
Why is he so familiar with you? What's going on?
I am this lady's lover, you understand? I was invited here by your father, and no uncouth son is going to get in my way.
Oh, don't go too far, or I won't be responsible for my actions. Now, I am
I'm not going to
for one day. Please.
I'm not going to let Alice carry on with the first amoeba who comes her way. I am her lover, and I get a yearly salary of 40,000 francs, with the approval of the late Duke Edgar.
Oh, so you're just a kept man, eh? An ordinary Alphonse.
I am not Alphonse. I'm Richard, quite an extraordinary one at that. Take a look at that.
What? Shoving your filthy paw in my face? Take that! Take that!
Why, your son is an athlete. He overpowered Korbovsky, and besides, he's so good looking. That photograph doesn't do him justice. It lacks expression. And what intelligence! I read all his letters to Edgar.
It's only nervous energy. Nerves. I never could persuade him to do his morning exercises. Nerves. Nervous energy. Like a madman in an asylum break their cell bars. Yes, nerves. We are descendants from old nobility.
Oh, why with nerves like that, who needs an athlete's muscles? What a magnificent specimen of masculinity!
I was sure your grace would be pleased.
No, well, call me daughter, Mr. Valpore. It's all settled.
Oh, do you know what he was shouting as he ran away? That you couldn't live without him and his evil ways, his rotten tricks, to be more precise, as he himself put it. For he claimed that you were an utterly depraved woman. So did Edgar.
Well, find out for yourself. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to be your wife. Your father has already given his consent.
So soon? But I don't really know who I am yet. Perhaps in a day or two.
Idiot! When you can get something for nothing, take it. Don't ask questions. Such a high-class woman, and yet he hesitates.
Oh, it's only bashfulness. I'm sure you'll be happy with me. We've been acquainted through all those letters, and from what Edgar himself told me, he actually brought us together a long time ago, even though he loved only me. Please, believe me.
But I do believe you. I have to. Is it really true? Can I start another life?
Yes, with me. With me, everything is possible.
No, but that Korbovsky, I'm afraid of what he's got in mind.
Oh, don't be afraid. With you, I'm not afraid of anything.
Grandfather, will I really get such a beautiful mother?
Yes, my boy, you've won the first prize. She's a genuine English duchess. And now we can sit down to supper, please.
My child, from now on, you can call me Mama.
My friend's wife, my mistress's son. Oh, at last, I've created a family all for myself. But won't it be too much for me? Listen to me, Father. Should I really humor myself this way? Shouldn't I undergo some kind of penance first?
Sit down at the table and don't bother me.
It's people and circumstances that have always made me what I am. I am a mannequin, a marionette. Before I can create anything, everything happens all by itself, exactly the way it always was. And not because of anything I've done. What is this? Some sort of a curse?
You can tell me all about it later. Now let's sit down and eat. I'm desperately hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Mama, I forgot why he is my papa.
Oh, it doesn't matter if you have. No one knows why things are the way they are, not some other way. You could ask such questions endlessly and never find any answers.
Oh, I know infinity. I'll never forget how I first came to understand what it means. And ever since then, everything has really been all right. I think everything is infinite and has to be the way it is. But there's just one thing, Mama. Why exactly is he my papa and not someone else?
Well, perhaps you'd prefer Mr. Kobovsky as your papa, my little philosopher. Hmm?
Don't talk to me like that, Mama, please. I'll tell you something else. As soon as you appeared, I forgot everything that had happened before. It's like one of those dreams you can never recall. I remember only my name and nothing else.
Well, that's a great deal. Apparently you had to forget everything else.
But I want to remember how I came to be, where I came from, and where everything is going, Mama. Things keep on going all by themselves and seem to be heading somewhere. What's it all about? Where is it all rushing so fast?
Well, ask your father. Even I don't know that.
Mother? Oh, you're keeping something from me. But I know more than I'm letting on. Your eyes are double, like those little boxes with a secret drawer.
Now it's my turn to say, do not talk to me like that. I'm very fond of you and I don't want to have to hurt you.
Haven't I been good? Oh, nothing seems right. Everything is happening as if I was dreaming. Oh, you know, I would never really been afraid of anything except in my dreams. And now that everything seems like a dream, I'm very much afraid that something dreadful might happen at any moment, and I'll be much more terrified than I ever was in any dream. I feel so frightened sometimes. I'm afraid of fear.
Jane! Jane, has the master returned?
Not yet, Your Grace.
Huh. Don't forget the special liqueurs. There'll be guests for dinner.
Yes, Your Grace.
So there'll be more of those repulsive characters who torment Papa.
And Mr. Grabowski will be there.
Oh, no. He is a man out of a bad dream. But I like him. I like to look at him. He's like a snake who eats small birds.
And you're a small little bird, aren't you?
Mama, why do you talk to me as if I were a grown-up? I asked you not to talk that way.
Well, I never had any children. I do not know how to talk to them. Go to Afrosia if you want to.
Well, she doesn't have double eyes. Still, she bores me. I don't like good people, but bad people make me suffer.
Am I bad?
I don't know, Mama, but you make me suffer. And I like to be with you because you make me suffer.
What perversity!
That's a word for a grown-up, I know. Why can't I wake up? Everything seems wrong somehow.
Mr. Korbovsky, Your Grace.
Ask him to come in.
Alice. Alice. Oh, Alice. Oh, good evening. Am I late?
No, dinner is late. Edgar hasn't come home yet.
Oh, Alice, how can you call that soggy wet noodle by the same name as your late husband, the late Duke? I may not be very refined, but it gives me a kind of psychological ache.
Well, as long as it's not physical, you can take it.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh at me. I wear my heart in a sling, like a broken arm, like fruit stolen from my garden, which my enemy has leased. I feel a morganatic attraction for you. Strong as an American tornado, I'm consumed by a passion for a misalliance, transformed by a clever writer into a self-libel with which I flog my own impotent destiny.
But there is no sense at all to anything you're saying.
I know, that's why I say it. I read night and day. Oh, my head is spinning.
Oh, sit up properly.
I don't have the strength. I'm afraid of time whirling past me like the wind on the pampas around the rushing antelope. I'm exhausted.
Oh, you put that very nicely, Mr. Korbowski. When I wake up from this dream, I will paint.
Listen, young aesthete. Suppose you go to sleep. I mean, really and truly, to bed, eh?
I won't go. You are just a handsome tramp, and this is my home.
You're just as much of a tramp as I am. Go to sleep. That's my advice.
Mr. Korbowski is right. You both have an equal right to be here with me.
That's not true. If I knew why he is my papa, I'd answer you differently. It's a mystery.
There's no mystery at all. Your so-called father is nothing but a common murderer. He could be hanged at any moment. Do you understand? He lives by the grace of the Duchess, like a dog on a chain. Do you understand?
That's not true. If Papa wanted to, he could be great. He just doesn't want to. I heard that somewhere.
I'll give you greatness. Alice, I can't take it anymore. You don't belong here. Throw that Valpor out once and for a tired wet noodle. I can't go on living like this. I can feel something new and strange, something colossally rotten growing inside me, and it'll be nasty for anyone who gets in my way. Do you understand? Everything I read, and I don't do anything else, I eagerly pervert into evil, odious, hairy, cruel, red-hot evil. Don't push me over the brink. Will you leave all of this and come with me now? I know I'm nothing. That's just it. You don't... What are you paying me for? Why do I go on living?
Oh, blow up, Mr. Korbowski. Go right ahead and blow up.
Shut up, Alice. I'm nothing at all. That's just it. That's why I used to be the happiest man in the world. And now that I have everything that I ever dreamed about, it all seems worthless without you. Oh, I might as well put a bullet through my head. I'll go stark raving mad.
Have you been unfaithful to me?
No, don't question me so casually about that. I can't stand it.
Well, he's suffering too.
What's that to me? Let him go on suffering in peace and quiet. You've turned this house into a colossal torturatorium, and I want nothing to do with it.
Then go away.
I can't. Will you leave all of this, Alice, and come with me now?
Monsieur Spectre, Evader, and Tupovich, your grace.
Show them in.
Oh my, what lovely needlework. The blues and the yellows complement each other so exquisitely. Don't they? Will you leave all of this and come with me now?
Oh, gentlemen, please forgive us. Edgar is late.
That's all right, but how are we doing with our new venture, the Theosophical Jam Company?
Oh, we're putting up all our capital. We'll secure the balance with real estate as collateral. Even the name is marvelous. Edgar has just gone to the Union Bank. He'll be back any minute.
Alice!
Mr. Korbowski, must I ask you to leave our house?
Oh, dear lady, this is a great day for our new corporation.
You are the only member of the aristocracy who...
Yes, you alone had the courage. Your example ought to be celebrated.
Please, I cannot talk about this before dinner. Gentlemen, make yourselves at home. I'm totally in favor of a tycoon aristocracy coalition. We are the people of the future.
Yes, our spiritual rebirth is the key for the future happiness of mankind.
We will show what we can do as a people.
Papa, I can't stand it anymore. I can't tell when she's telling the truth.
Go away. Dinner is served.
But Papa, I'm so all alone.
Go to Afrosia, drink your herbal tea, and get to bed. And who is this?
It's she. You're alive.
That should hardly be any concern of yours.
Oh, Mama.
Is he your son? You lied about everything.
I have never lied. I don't know this boy at all.
You don't know me, Mama.
Calm down, child. I never was your mother.
So I have no one at all, and I can't wake up.
Tasha, go to Afrosia this very minute and make sure she puts you to bed.
Tell me, who is this woman?
It's the Water Hen, Elizabeth Vergeling.
But what does this mean? You killed her!
Oh, apparently not. Since she just walked in and is standing right there, that would appear to be fairly conclusive evidence,
So she's really alive. I'm ruined. There goes my last chance of getting rid of that bad dream. Don't you worry, Mr. Valpour. Your attempted blackmail didn't work.
Oh, you and your blackmail mean nothing to me. I tolerate your presence here in this house of my own free will. I've devoted my entire life now to penance. Penance for what I've failed to accomplish. I failed, and now I must suffer for it and do penance. You should be delighted. After all, it's all your fault. Can you imagine anything worse?
You're still not suffering enough. Not nearly enough. And that's why everything seems so awful to you.
Oh, Father, please look after the guests. I wish to speak to this woman privately. It's the Water Hen. She's alive. Well, judging by your complete lack of surprise, I suspect you knew all along.
Well, of course.
Oh, you monster!
Your late mother spoiled you. I've got to make up for it, so I'm bringing you up in my own way. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please come to the dining room?
After you've talked with my husband, please join us at the table. And after dinner, you and I will have a little chat.
And who are you, may I ask?
I am Edgar Valpour's wife, and Edgar Nevermore's widow. Apparently, you were the one woman that my husband was in love with from a distance of 1,000 miles. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Do you love her?
Oh, don't even say that word in my presence. I hate the very sound of it.
Once and for all, answer my question.
No, that's an entirely different matter. I'm just a marionette. I'm outside whatever happens to me, and I watch myself like a Chinese shadow moving on a screen. I can only observe the movements, but I have no control over them.
So nothing has happened as a result of my death?
What's happened is that I suffer 1,000 times more than I ever did. I've started another life, not a new one. I gave up on that a long time ago. Another life. I'm creating a skeleton inside of what already exists. Or rather, they are, my father and the Duchess.
And the utter void, I mean, as far as feelings are concerned?
It goes on and on.
What does your father expect of you? The same as always?
Yes. He says I'll certainly become an artist.
But you have no talent. Not for anything whatever.
That's precisely the point. I don't have any, and I never will. It's as impossible as changing one's complexion. Black hair can be bleached, but can a black character?
Will you be angry if I ask you something? How's the greatness problem coming?
Greatness? Monstrosity, perhaps? Look, I've already told you, I'm a buffoon, a plaything of unseen forces. I'm great, like a marionette.
Don't laugh. What about real life?
I manage my wife's estate. I've invested it all in the Theosophical Jam Company. Those 3 men have taken care of everything. I'm only a mannequin.
Don't get angry. If I tell you something, you're still not suffering enough.
Oh, you dare say that to me? Don't you understand how absolutely ghastly my life is?
I understand, but it's really nothing. Nothing at all. The only way to get anything out of you is to torture you. I know what I'm talking about.
Haven't I suffered enough already? My wife keeps that Korbovsky in constant tow, the slimy maggot. I hate him, I loathe him, I despise him, and yet I have to put up with him all the time. Now, he'll be on the board of the new company. I don't know whether he's her lover or not. I don't ask. I don't want to find out. Isn't that enough for you? All my evenings are pinnacles of utter degradation.
But you don't love her.
You're a woman, my dear. You'll never understand. For you women, it's only, he loves me not. He loves me not. You'll never understand suffering any more complicated than the wrong answer to that question.
Go on. What else makes you suffer?
Well, you know how I hate reality. From early morning on, I'm up to my ears in business. Board meetings at banks, the stock exchange, negotiations with wholesalers and big accounts. Oh, now it's really starting. Imagine me, Edgar, a businessman. That's the height of agony.
That's not enough. Apropos, what about Tajo?
Oh, your deathbed request.
I swear I never saw that boy before.
Oh, well, the facts are against you, Elizabeth. But I don't want to go over that old story again. Besides, facts don't interest me. So you're really not the boy's mother?
But you know, I can't be a mother.
Oh, well, miracles happen. Did you know they've built a huge barracks where I once tried to kill you without much success? But no matter.
Tell me, what's the relationship between you?
Between Tajo and I? Well, frankly, I'm insanely attached to him, although I have the deep suspicion that he'll turn out to be a scoundrel so monstrous that Korbovsky will seem a saint by comparison. And along with my insane attachment to him, I feel an unbearable disgust. He doesn't love me and doesn't want to regard me as his father. He admires Korbovsky. He's his artistic ideal. Now I've listed my principal sufferings. Isn't that enough for you?
That's nothing.
That's nothing. What else could you possibly want?
I don't know. Perhaps a prison sentence, or maybe physical pain will cure you. There have been cases of conversion.
To what? Theosophy?
No, to a belief in the positive values of life.
Wait! Physical pain! Now that's a new idea! Hey there! Now, listen to me. Go to the Duchess's museum immediately and bring me the Spanish instrument of torture. You know, the one with the orange and black stripes. Now, hurry! Now, I'll show you.
Just don't lie to yourself.
Oh, quiet! Now I'm the master of my own fate. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm doing it all by myself, without anybody else's help. Quiet, I tell you. And now, set it down in the middle of the room. Now, listen to me. You are to torture me with this machine. No matter how much I cry out and beg for mercy, you are to stretch me until I stop screaming. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, tie my arms and legs and turn the cranks.
Yes, sir. We understand, sir.
Well, hurry up. Oh, yes. No! Stop! Enough! Mercy! I beg you, enough!
What are you gaping at? Keep on turning it.
He's fainted. He's had enough. Poor fellow.
Has he gone mad or what? Get him out of there! put him on a couch and take that damn box out. Elizabeth, was this hideous business your idea?
Papa, don't cry like that ever again, Papa. Papa, I woke up from my dream. I love you, Papa. She is the one who's been torturing you, that strange lady who didn't want to be my mother. I don't want her here. Take her away.
This is barren metaphysical suffering in the fourth dimension.
Silence!
Do you think that Edgar nevermore loved you? He loved only me. I have his letters right here. I want you to know everything. I've always kept them with me, but now they're useless.
I know all that, and I've already proved to my second husband that your theory is wrong. You were only the kind of make-believe mother that certain men feel they need. Such experiment works best at a great distance. Edgar loved only me. Mr. Gorbowski knows something about it.
Mr. Korbowski may know a great deal, but in matters of feelings, of the sort that united me with Duke Edgar, he simply isn't competent to judge.
Oh, you're just a phantom, an imagined value. I'm not at all jealous of you. I prefer reality to your spiritual seductions in the fourth dimension. Edgar told me that he wrote you nonsensical letters which you took seriously. Oh, it's all ridiculous and petty.
That's not true.
The Duke told me so just before he died. He was reading that big fat book full of symbols and expiring at the same time.
Yes, he was reading Russell and Whitehead's Principia Mathematica after his entrails had been torn out by a tiger. He was a hero. He was fully conscious when he told me that he duped you into a metaphysical flirtation. He called it the psychopath's metaphysical flirtation, yet he wasn't a madman himself.
I was the one who was pulling his leg. I lie about everything. I don't exist at all. I live only by lying. Is there anything more sublime than lying for its own sake? Read those letters. That man believed in me, but he had moments of horrible despair and tried to convince himself that he was the one lying. In that lay the drama of his life. That's why he was so brave. I was the one who didn't want to meet him.
Yes, because he would have been disillusioned. He didn't even have a photo of you. You wanted to be something in the nature of a myth. That's why you never have your picture taken. Everybody knows all about it.
Take that woman away. I don't want her here. She tells lies.
Tajio, don't. Behave yourself.
Jane, take this woman out this instant.
I'll escort her to the door myself. Elizabeth, give me your hand. In your own way, you are great.
So you're against me too, are you, father?
Not against you, no, but with you against life. I'm waiting for you to finally become an artist.
Save me, Alice. Save me from him. Save me from myself. Out, scum! Out!
And the letters.
Oh, you may take them with you, Mr. Korbowski. Reading that correspondence will be good for your psyche. You'll be more mixed up than ever. Please go right ahead. Jane!
All right, Tom. None of your tricks.
Mr. Valpore, as a guardian of your wife's estate, will you please sign here? We've drawn up the final charter of the Theosophical Jam Company.
And now, please forgive me, but I can't go on. Alice, I beg you, let's start a new life.
Not another one, but a new one.
No, no, that was impossible. Oh, Tazio, go to bed this very minute.
But won't you believe me, Papa? I believe in you, my dear, dear Papa. I woke up from my dream. I want to be good.
I want to be good too.
Well, how will wanting to be good help if there is evil in the very depths of your soul? Besides, I must admit, I've gone beyond such categories today. Ethics is only a consequence of a large number of individuals thinking the same way. A man on a desert island wouldn't have the slightest notion of what that means. Tazio, go to bed!
But won't you believe me now, Papa? I'm not talking about you, Mama. Your eyes are double. Papa, now I know why you are my father.
Oh, I want to believe you, just as you want to be good.
Do you really feel as if though you were on desert island?
Save me, Alice. I'm tired of being a Superman. The temptation of penance was too much for me. Father's against me, and so is Elizabeth. Together, the two of them tempt me. There's an even worse temptation waiting for me. He inoculated me with it. The temptation to become an artist. I'm defending myself with what little strength I have left. I have no talent. I'm great in my utter nothingness. Today, life has lost all meaning.
Just because that liar walked out on you?
No, this suffering. I don't even want to talk about it. I can't describe it. Rescue me from art. I hate art, and I'm afraid of it. Now that life has lost all meaning, that other temptation's growing stronger and stronger, and I won't be able to resist it unless you protect me. Oh, Alice, I hardly dare to ask. All my bones ache from the torture. For once, kiss me as if you really loved me.
I really do feel like I love you now.
Oh, but it's all petty.
Only in lying is there greatness.
Oh, so you're against me too, huh? Life awaits us in all its horror.
I will not leave you, neither you nor Tazio.
Like condemned prisoners, we'll drag on and on until death.
When will this ghastly nightmare ever end? It's just like a life sentence. I mean, God knows what Father expects of me. He's a failure himself. What a fine example. For the time being, I'll listen dutifully. But as soon as it all blows up, I won't have to look up to anybody. Like Kerbovsky. There was a man. There was a man. What a pity he wasn't my father. Oh, you forget everything. Even that women exist. It's just mathematics. Mathematics. Oh, it's a hell of a life.
Sir, the lady who was here 10 years ago wishes to speak to you.
What? Oh. Show her in. Hurry up. I behaved so badly then.
Are you Mr. Thaddeus Valpo?
Yes, I am. In the old days, we both had the same name.
I know that. A pure coincidence. That's why people suspected I was your mother. You were the one who desperately wanted me to be your mother, and you got offended when I refused. What a ridiculous rumor. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I was a child then. But you look even younger now, as far as I can remember from the old days.
Yes, it's Indian yoga plus American massage. Ludicrous, isn't it?
Properly speaking, why are you laughing?
Properly speaking, I'm laughing quite improperly. And what are you doing these days?
Me? Well, I'm not doing anything. I mean, I study mathematics. They torture me with mathematics, even though I don't have any talent for it. You know?
That runs in your family. Mm. Your grandfather was dead set on making an artist out of your father. So far as I know, it was a complete failure.
That's true, as of now. Although it's still a subject of endless controversy. You know, okay, what I'm going to say might sound absurd, but I am so busy that sometimes I forget that women exist. I mean, yesterday I was going to a class and I caught sight of a good-looking woman, and I could swear for a minute I didn't know what sort of a creature I was looking at. And then I realized that there are such things as women, and I was deliriously happy. What I'm saying is nonsense. Maybe it seems very childish to you, but...
Well, and what else?
Nothing. You said that there was something that runs in our family, but you know that I'm only my father's adopted son.
I know that.
But sometimes I could swear that it was you who first called him my father. I was very ill then, that's for certain.
Do I appeal to you?
I like you tremendously. I love you.
Just like that. I love you. And what about that woman in the street when all of a sudden you realize that women exist?
No, that was nothing. I love only you. Please, let me kiss you.
That's enough. Someone's coming.
Oh my God. Tell me you love me. I've just kissed you for the first time. It's tremendous. Tell me you love me.
I love you, you innocent little thing. You'll be my...
Well, here is a new development. Good evening, Elizabeth. Haven't seen you for ages. You're quite a coquette now, aren't you? Well, you rascal. Playing footsie with her already, eh?
I love this woman, and I intend to marry her. I've awakened from my dream, and now I know what it all means and what all of you wanted of me. I mean, nothing doing. Dad, I don't want to be that kind of a person. I don't accept any of these new theories.
He's mine. He's suffocating here with all of you. He's handsome. He has a beautiful soul. He'll become great through me.
Oh, all of a sudden he's got a beautiful soul and greatness too, just because you find him attractive. You don't know him, and you probably want to make him great the way you wanted to make me great. It's all disgustingly petty.
Greatness has gone to your heads. In my time, at least, it was possible to become a great artist. But now, even that doesn't work anymore.
You two want to warp his life just the way I warped yours.
You warped my cat's life too, Elizabeth, by feeding him lemons. But the cat died. And in this case, we better go on living, or else we better blow our brains right away.
Yes, that's just it. I won't let you use Tadeusz for your suicidal experiments or for your artificial crimes. He'll be a scholar, the last known profession on Earth that hasn't already gone to the dogs or some still worse creatures.
But I don't want to be a scholar at all. I love Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, you're not a woman, my boy. That won't fill your life. Oh, look at him. He's invented a new profession, being in love. A third-rate Don Juan. Oh, what am I saying? A common one without the Don.
He knows intuitively who he is. You two can distort anything. If you won't let a criminal be a criminal, he'll become something still worse. A fake? A fraud? Father, you're the one who's contaminating everyone with your programs.
Oh, since when have you repudiated lying? A long time ago? Or is this a new lie created specifically for the present situation?
There is no truth in words or in any actions or professions man devise. The truth is what is actually happening.
Oh, look here! What sort of real-life Dadaism is this? Do as the apes do, live in trees. But I'm going to remind you once more of that other time. Now, Father, talk to them. I'll be right back.
Well, what do you say about that, youngsters?
Nothing. Either father lets me marry this woman or I run away from home. That's final.
I have nothing more to say to you. I'll watch what happens as a spectator.
Oh, it's you. New revelations about my first husband, perhaps?
That topic doesn't concern me anymore. I've destroyed the past completely.
Oh, but you haven't destroyed yourself in the process, have you? You look very pretty. I realized at once that something was wrong when Edgar rushed in like a lunatic racing against time and changed into his 18th century outfit. Apparently, he wants to entice you with the past.
It won't work. I love Tadeusz. He's going to marry me.
Oh, so soon? Dadja, is that true?
Yes. Well, I finally awakened from my dream, and I've seen through all your lies. You're manufacturing artificial people, artificial crimes, artificial penance, artificial everything.
That one is always waking from some dream or other and becoming to understand everything. Well, how many times have you come to understand everything? What's the grand total?
Well, I've understood twice, but everything is infinite, so there's no point of talking about actual quantities of anything. I mean, when I understand for the third time, it may very well be the end.
A regular little Solomon. Well, watch out you don't tempt fate by talking about that third time. Watch out.
Tom Huzi, Your Grace.
Huzi?
Volste Korbova Korbovsky, Your Grace.
Oh, I didn't know this was his real name. Well, ask Mr. Huzi to come in. Mr. Korbovsky. Rector Huzi, please sit down and be a silent witness to events.
What kind of a masquerade is this, Ham? He's changed into his old costume to create an atmosphere. Too bad you didn't dress up as a Mexican general or Julius Caesar.
Oh, that's too much. You're making a fuss out of every situation.
Oh, silence! I forbid you to marry that woman.
Mr. Valpore, please wait a moment. I apologize for being here, but I have been authorized by the Duchess. I still love her. For the last 5 years, I have been observing your life together. I spent 5 years in the Argentine.
Yes, what's that to me? Get to the point.
As soon as that witch appeared, I knew that today will be the crucial day. The police are on my track, but since I was a former witness, I took the chance. I came to help you. Besides, there's a revolution going on, and I mean to come out on top. If everything comes crashing down today, well, I'll have nothing to fear.
Yes, that'll do. You can finish later. Tajo, today you're at the turning point of your life. If you insist on going on with this woman, you're lost.
Dad, that's because you are sweet on her yourself. The proof is that you've changed your clothes. My God, you overdo everything.
Tajo, I'm telling you this for the last time. I love you, but my patience...
Oh, Father, you are an old ham. And besides, you're not my father at all. Please don't forget that while I'm talking to you, Father.
Oh, you scoundrel!
Yes, I am a scoundrel.
Oh, shut up! Shut up! Shut up! You won't marry her. I won't let you.
Oh, if that's the case, I am leaving this house right now, and you'll never see me again, Father. Understand? Not another word.
Mr. Valpour, please come to your senses. First of all, we've got to kill this slut. You follow my game, Alice? It's the only way out, Mr. Valpour.
Yes, you're right. I'm glad you came, Mr. Korbowski. Thank you. Jane! My double-barreled shotgun, a bullet in each barrel.
I've had enough. Thaddeus, we are leaving right now. I can't stand petty lying.
Oh, this is no lie. I'm not joking.
The lantern has been lit.
What lantern? Who are you?
Playing dumb as though you just dropped in out of the blue. Look over there.
Oh, that I'd forgotten. Thank you, my good man. You may go now.
It's loaded, sir.
Are you coming or not?
I'm coming.
Not one step. Now, stand over there.
I wouldn't dream of it. I'm sick of your idiotic jokes.
Jane, get that woman and hold her. I'm going to shoot her.
Dad, you might just shoot me too.
Hold that woman, I said.
Please stop joking, sir.
Oh, you blockhead. You know I'm an excellent shot. Tir au pigeon, first prize. Now, grab her and put her on target, or I'll shoot you dead as a dog without a moment's hesitation.
Had enough of your idiotic jokes. Let go of me, you boor. Edgar! Edgar, have you really gone mad?
Hold her still.
Edgar, I love you. Only you. I was only trying to make you jealous.
Too late.
He's a madman! He already shot me once! Save me.
Oh, her head split wide open. Oh, you sure are a whale of a madman. Damned if you're not.
Well, it's already happened once before, only a bit differently. Now, take this.
Well, now I've finally awakened from my dream. I know everything now. I'm an unmitigated scoundrel.
Oh, well, serves you right, Tajo. I hate you. Oh, I don't even have an adopted son. I'm all alone. What about you, Alice?
Look over there! Look over there!
Yeah, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, but we've been tipped off that a certain Tom, who's one of the most dangerous criminals in the world, just came in here.
Richard, I've been the cause of your undoing. I left you for that idiot.
It doesn't matter. There's a revolution going on. It doesn't matter. We'll see each other again. This won't last long. Maybe today we'll all be free. Oh, Alice, I loved you and only you, even in the thick of crimes so monstrous as to be four-dimensional and non-Euclidean in their swinishness.
Oh! Stay where you are. Now, who is that lying over there?
I killed that woman because she was in love with him.
Quite a cozy little nest, madam. I mean, Duchess Nevermore. Secundo voto, Valpor. So, this is how you operate, huh? Hey!
Oh, don't worry, we'll meet again. Don't you understand, Alice? Now he's really become a hopeless scoundrel. And in times like these, who knows, he may be destined to play a great role.
Yeah, that's enough talk. Now, take them both to prison, and I'll take care of the body.
I don't think we'll make it. It's starting to get hot out there.
Yes, then we better hurry, detective.
Oh, it's going nicely. Let's go out into the street. I like the atmosphere of a revolution. There's nothing more agreeable than to swim in the black sea of a mob gone mad.
Richard, I love and admire you. Can there be any greater happiness than not to despise the man one loves? Goodbye, Father. I'm leaving the house and the money to you.
Well, Sonny, now what? We've gone bankrupt. All we need to know now is for Tadzio to turn out to be Korbovsky's son, but we'll never know about that. Perhaps now you'll become an artist. You could even become an actor. After all, actors are creative artists too, ever since the pew form became all the rage. Well, make up your mind. Surely nothing ties you to life anymore. Now you've got to become an artist.
Oh. Death still ties me to life. That's the last thing to be disposed of.
How?
Like this.
You would be an excellent actor, especially in those preposterous plays they write nowadays. But why did you use a shotgun when you had a revolver? So it'll be more difficult to figure out.
Because I wanted it to be the same as before.
I've always said you're an artist. Everything's neatly worked out in prepared speeches. You could write plays. Come here. Let me give you a hug.
Later, Father. I don't have time now. Goodbye, Father.
Oh, thus the artist dies without any self-knowledge. Jane, the young master has killed himself. Carry him out.
Oh my goodness. I always thought it's going to turn out like this. It was a perfect shot. Tiny hole like a nail makes. What a shot that guy was. But he sure gave me a good scare today.
Jane, open the door. They are beating on it. The mob must be tearing everything down. It's strange how old age and sea duty blunt everything in a man. I honestly don't feel anything at all, either for good or evil. Damn it all! A man isn't a ship. At last, my son killed himself. His nerves got the better of him. Too bad. Well, what's going on out there?
Mr. Valpor, cheer up. Everything is going to the devil. There are heaps of corpses out there in the street. Now, we will always find a way, Mr. Valpor, but we came on foot. Our chauffeur ran away. They took our car, and we saw a strange sight, Mr. Walpole. The Duchess was walking along the street in something that looked like her dressing gown with Korbovsky, and some thugs were holding them prisoner. Now, we couldn't get near them. And then Korbovsky, he kept shouting something, and then the mob came and beat the thugs to a pulp, and then the Duchess and Korbovsky ran with the crowd down to the barricades near Angry Young Man Avenue. But what am I saying? Yes, it's all a dream, Mr. Walpole, it's all a dream. Our companies no longer exist. The new government has abolished all private enterprises. All we have left is what we've got abroad in foreign banks. And what about our homes?
We lost everything.
I wonder if my adopted grandson will fight his way to the top. Well, gentlemen, it's our last night. The gangsters will probably butcher the road tomorrow. So let's amuse ourselves for one last time. Jane, set up the card table.
Have you gone out of your mind to play cards at such a critical time?
At our age is the only way of whiling away the time during a social upheaval. What else could we do? Whist or auction bridge? That's the question.
Well, why not whist?
Ah, did you hear that? What else could we do except play cards? Everything's falling to pieces anyway.
It seems that you're right.
Of course. Jane, cold supper, extra fun, and plenty of wine for us all. We'll drink like dragons. We've got to drink away 3 aborted generations. Maybe I'll still become a revolutionary admiral. Yes. But those others, would have come down. Jane, one thing more. Go get those girls to keep us company at dinner. You know, the young master and I used to visit.
But will they want to come when all hell is breaking loose?
Certainly they want to promise them anything. There's no need to worry, gentlemen. Perhaps we can still get jobs in the new government.
Yes. Ace of clubs.
2 clubs.
2 diamonds. Begging away in fine style. Your bid, Mr. Spectre.
Too hot. The world is collapsing.
Pass.
Jak przyjemnie kołysać się wśród fal, gdy szumi woda i płynie sobie w dal. Ach, jak przyjemnie, radosny słychać śpiew, gdy szumi woda, a w żyłach szumi krew. I tak uroczo, tak ochoczo serca biją tak, gdy jest pogoda, szumi woda, czego jeszcze brak do szczęścia. Ach, jak przyjemnie, kołysać się wśród fal, gdy szumi woda i płynie sobie w dal.
Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind. Wo sind sie geblieben, wo die Blumen, sag mir, wo die Blumen sind. Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind. Mädchen pflückten sie geschickt. Wann wird mein Mädchen sehen?
Baby,
Gdzie są kwiaty starych lat? Wo sind sie geblieben? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind. Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Mädchen sind. Na, wenn sie
Regardez-moi bien. Je suis né